I bet that you are inspired by at least a few people. And if you think about it, this is kind of how humanity is built up. So, like, humans learn from humans. Humans are inspired by other humans. And through this inspiration, we gain our unique skills and strengths, essentially. And not only is this a fundamental aspect of humanity, but also many fictional worlds expand on this concept. For example, Avatar: The Last Airbender, Star Wars, and Harry Potter. And we'll explore all of those as well as some cool tools that you can be using right now, and also what will be possible in the future with virtual reality and being inspired by others. So let's see you there.
Holistic, gamified education. Holy game.
Starting off with Avatar. So for those who don't know what the show is about, it's essentially the 4 elements that are being controlled by different people, and they all live in different parts of the world. So we have the Fire Nation, we have the Water tribes, we have the Earth country, and the air nomad temples. So each of those can control the certain elements, but the unique aspect is the avatar can control all of the elements. What the unique aspect of the avatar is, despite being able to control all elements, is that he has access to his previous selves. So he's kind of in this reincarnation cycle which he actually remembers when he goes into deep meditation. And his previous selves, so he is able to ask questions and like receive guidance, essentially. So he can access their knowledge and skills in a way that helps him in his current scenario. And this aspect is really not unique to Avatar. It is found over and over in fiction. So when we look at Star Wars, we have a very similar thing with the Force ghosts. So for those who don't know Star Wars, like seriously, go and watch Star Wars. But it's essentially everything evolves around the Force, which is this concept of just being connected to the supernatural, if you think about it. That's a very bad explanation, but I think you get where I'm coming from. And if you go very deep into like the explore the Force, essentially, you are able to communicate with deceased people that you have been in contact with. And they are also able to give you some guidance and help you along the way. So it's also the whole concept of like just, hey, learn from those that inspire you, even if they're dead. And then the last thing is from Harry Potter, and they use a very similar aspect, and that is the one of the portraits. So in Harry Potter, when you take a picture of someone, like the picture is alive somehow. So the person that the picture was taken of is essentially becoming its own individual, or at least that's how I think of it. And you can still communicate with that person to a certain degree. And this is especially prevalent in the headmaster's office. So mostly in Dumbledore's time, he had all those portraits of the past school administrators or headmasters, and he was able to communicate with them. It's not super big point in Harry Potter, but I thought it was still a very nice aspect. So you may be thinking, what the hell is like going on? Why are you telling me all this? Like, I don't have these magic pictures or control to the Force, or maybe even remember my past lives in the way that Avatar or the Avatar is able to do that. But we have something almost as good, and that is technology and software. So I'd like to show a few tools that you can use to get something similar. And despite us being still quite far away, I think we are getting there. This should be something familiar with some of you already. So these are my holistic guides. And it is kind of my attempt to recreate those fictional concepts of communicating with those that were inspiring. So this is kind of the most up-to-date version. As you see with like also the past videos, a lot is changing like all the time. But I think it's a good thing that this is a constant process of improvement. So I'm currently using Canva as a way to organize those. And it's actually very easy because you can just insert the pictures in the framing here. So you don't have to manage all those things and up and down. It's like a huge hassle. So Canva is a really nice thing. And there is a template below if you want to try it out. So this is kind of my current concept, but there's also a layer underneath that. So if we look at Airtable, we have the same guides essentially, but in a database format. So here we kind of are able to group certain persons, and this is at the moment my the self area, which was also the last video about. So if you haven't, go check that out. You already see that I've made a few changes. So for example, the head of self is now Octavian Gaius. Sounds a bit weird, but it's a really good book that I'll probably make a video at some point. Anyways, I decided to make the head of the area now always fictional one. And then underneath we have just people that inspire me. And then there's also some additional information. So you can see, okay, like you can just like get more info on those. And I'm not going to read any of that because like, why? You can also do that yourself if you want to, because there's also a link down in the description. So in case you're not a fan of Airtable, you may be a fan of Notion. So in Notion, it's kind of the same thing, also database, a little bit different, maybe a little less powerful, but more intuitive, I'd say. So here we have the same concept of the people in a gallery view. Airtable also has a gallery view, but like, why show you twice? And you can just scroll through those and see what they're all about. And then you can also click on them. And for example, let's click on Octavian again. And you see all the information with the quotes as well. So yeah, that is kind of the software and products that I'm currently working on. But there are also new ways that this will be possible. So this is possible now, but in the future, we can do so much more. So in the whole concept of virtual reality kind of allows you to be in this virtual world and engage with virtual characters. And these can be either playable characters. So someone just takes an avatar. It's actually like called avatar, so quite funny there. So you can have different avatars that you can morph into, and then you appear to others as that. So you could be running around as Eero if you wanted, for example, or whoever you'd like. And this will just become more and more advanced. And with the addition of artificial intelligence, we may get to the point where we can have all those inspiring people be a downloadable character with like an AI working with their values, for example, and then they can actually teach you without having to be present there. So you'd have a virtual avatar that you can duplicate as often as you'd like, and he could do some of your work. So for example, a teacher could record his lectures in virtual reality, and then he can actually like get up close and teach you a concept and in your three-dimensional space. And with augmented reality, it could be literally your house. So just imagine Dumbledore or even Elon Musk just coming up to your house and explaining you how rocket trajectories work. So like this will be possible in the future. And yeah, I'd love to explore this a whole lot more. And if you're also excited, I'd love to see you there. So this was it with the video. I hope you enjoyed it and you found it productive and meaningful. I hope to increase constantly the quality of essentially everything that I'm doing. So stay tuned for that. And if you'd like to support the channel and kind of help the education system move in a positive directory and maybe a little bit innovative as well, you can also support me on Patreon, where you also have access to more of these products and tools that I'm generally talking about here and there. So if you're interested, go there, check that out. And otherwise, remember to master your body, train your mind, and love your soul. Bye bye. Have a good one.